Okay, next we have Aomawa Shields, who grew up in California. She's a doctoral student at the University of Washington, where she's studying astrobiology. So with that, we'll bring her up to let her highlight some of her activities and accomplishments.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about my background and some accomplishments that I've had over the past couple of years. So in the center is an album cover from the group that my parents were in college. This is my mother, this is my father. They were in a group called the Pyramids. They gave me the name of a chant they created from vowels. Aomawa are my first and middle name, and together they mean spiritual strength. This is my grandmother. She was a math major at Tennessee State University in the 1930s. She is my inspiration, as is my mother, who has a PhD in music theory and composition. This is me and her at her master's ceremony. And this is my dad and I. My dad owns a performing arts company called Cultural Odyssey here in San Francisco, and he is an incredible businessman. I got my bachelor's degree in Earth, Atmospheric and Planetary Sciences from MIT in 1997. I also loved acting, and so I decided to pursue that seriously, getting a Master of Fine Arts from UCLA in 2001. And I'm currently a PhD student in my third year at the University of Washington in Seattle. I'm also in the Astrobiology Graduate Certificate Program, in addition to the PhD program in astronomy. I was awarded an NSF Graduate Research Fellowship for the next 3 years to pursue my dissertation work. And I'm happy to report that I passed my qualifying exam in June. This is my family. That's my husband and I at our wedding with my dad. And we love to travel, to go to bed and breakfast up and down the Pacific Coast Highway. This is my sister and me. She's 15 and lives in Connecticut. And this is my mom, me, and my brother, John Samuel. He lives in Paris, France, and speaks 5 languages. And these are our cats, Mama and Mimi. They are a mother and daughter duo, and they entertain us a lot. Between graduate school and acting and astronomy graduate school, I've had some really incredible experiences. Among them, acting in a film that went to Sundance and was voted Ebert and Roper's Top 10 of 2005. I also hosted a show called Wired Science on PBS, and have published an essay and an anthology about women who are scientists, techies, and geeks. But the most pivotal point in my career was taking a position at Caltech, working for NASA's Spitzer Space Telescope as a scheduler. That's where I fell back in love with astronomy and decided to return and get my PhD. I am interested in exoplanets, that is, planets orbiting stars other than our sun. And the likelihood that they will experience low-latitude glaciation. So our planet is believed to have experienced at least 2 to 3 snowball episodes, that is, periods where the Earth was covered in ice from pole to pole. We are finding exoplanets at varying distances from their parent star, at varying eccentricities and obliquities, so the likelihood that these planets will experience some sort of climatic instability is not insignificant. We already know from fossil evidence that life survives snowball Earth, but we don't know how, nor do we know how planets get into a snowball state, and more importantly, how they get out of one. My NSF dissertation work is going to focus on studying the likelihood and effects on habitability of low-latitude glaciation in extrasolar planetary systems. Specifically, I'm going to constrain climate models into and out of an ice-covered state for terrestrial exoplanets. And for the laboratory component to my thesis work, I'm going to look at how life could survive ice-covered conditions on these planets. So it's basically snowball Earth applied to exoplanets. In the future, I plan to finish my PhD in 2014 in astronomy and astrobiology, after which I will take a very rewarding 1 to 2 weeks vacation in Tahiti. I will be in a hut here on stilts. I plan to mentor African American women interested in the sciences, specifically astronomy. I would love to communicate science to the public, continue to do that on TV, in press, and museums through planetarium shows. And my ultimate dream is to become an astronaut. I have already applied to the astronaut candidate program once, and the call has just come out again with applications due in January, so it's going to be a very busy next couple of months. So I'm so honored and privileged to be a part of this group, and thank you for your time and attention.